Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marnix Nicole and I'm an acrylic painter. And today I wanted to show you everything that I painted in 2022. This is a collection of my finished acrylic canvas pieces that I did in the year. And just as a little caveat, I'm just going to also show you everything I didn't finish painting in 2022 because I had the best intentions, but this was a year where I didn't finish a lot of work. And other years I've done 30 pieces, 40 pieces, really big numbers, but this year we reeled it in a little bit. We reeled it in a lot because there's only a handful of pieces that I finished and I want to show them off for you. So let's hop into the video. So wow, I actually just counted and I only finished 5 paintings in 2022. This is a drastic drop from my normal output, but it's for a lot of good reasons. The first being that I actually spent a lot of time in the sketchbook and just sketchbooking in general. I had so much fun this year painting concepts in my sketchbook. A lot of times for a lot of years. This is actually, I think, my 7th year. I started in 2016. Yeah, this is my 7th year in my artistic journey. I'm almost to my year anniversary actually. And I just didn't use my sketchbook almost at all. It would take me so long to finish a sketchbook tour. It would take me so long to want to use the sketchbook. But I found that throughout the year I was having so much fun doing full illustrations and creating work that was fun, doing actual studies of other artists' work and playing with new concepts and using new materials, and especially when I was taking time away from doing big massive pieces. It just felt fun, you know, to play around, do fun things. This sketchbook actually only has 1 page left, which I will be filming and then doing a sketchbook tour. So check that out on the channel very, very soon. But yes, this sketchbook took up most of my priorities in 2022, very unintentionally. But yeah, this is the main reason. The other reason is because I spent way too much time in art slumps and in massive art projects. I've always loved big canvases. My average size canvas for a lot of years was an 18 by 24. So I like to be big. I like to be able to spread out. I like to be able to do tiny details, but on a larger scale. Because the way these eyes work, me and small lines and little prints is not always a foregone conclusion. So I like to be able to paint big. I like to use my big brushes. I like to, get all of these ideas out and just spread out and make fun art. But this year was a little different. In the middle and towards the end of 2021, I had a breakthrough in my art style. That is where I did this painting, my Black Opera piece, as well as a few other pieces that really felt like I was rediscovering my art style. I was finding this niche and being able to describe my art as of this time. And I called it my patchworky prints. I was always focused on real world moments and these captured moments, but now I was starting to weave in bigger concepts, and it felt a little more advanced and it felt like a natural progression for my artwork. As you can see with my Black Opera painting, there are multiple characters here. There are multiple little scenes that are wrapped up into one big overarching scene of the Black Opera. You can see in this painting right here where I did a bunch of ballerinas. This was not typical of my work previously. Definitely not. I love color, and so that's always been a big play. Saturation and nice bold strokes, of course, but this is not what I used to paint at all. So moving into 2022, I was oh, let's do some fun things. And so the first thing I did was an art contest. Let me tell you about that. Hey guys, So I finally finished my villain origin art challenge that I started a couple of weeks ago. I basically challenged all of my fellow artist friends, and if you haven't joined, do it now, but to create your villain origin story, because everyone is talking about how 2020, 2021 has been like the birth of your villain origin story, and the birth of mine. Let's go ahead and explain that. So mine is pretty simple, pretty everyday. Sitting there enjoying some music, enjoying my books, you know, having a good time. And then just one small inconvenience, one tap on the shoulder is the final straw, because self-care is being interrupted. And so obviously I call forth the demon that is residing in my heart now and have them bring their weapon of choice to like deal with this interruption, because one more tap on the shoulder and it's over. Like it? So yes, this was to find your villain origin story. I illustrated mine. It was a fun little trend that was happening on TikTok, and TikTok definitely was a big inspiration for me for most of 2022. It was a nice way to keep me going and keep me motivated and come up with like these new ideas and things. So 2022 was the year for TikTok, and I did this as an acrylic ink piece. I love acrylic inks. I just don't reach for them enough. I have a whole drawer full, and luckily the product never goes bad because I am wasting their potential. I love them so much. So that was a medium that I definitely need to pay more attention to, and I'm going to think about that moving forward. We'll talk about that in my art skills, but here is the final piece. I don't know where it is in my art studio. I've been moving things around, so it's kind of lost. But for my first piece of the year, it was definitely fun. It made me think outside the box, and it reminded me that I really do need to work more with acrylic inks. Now, I did learn that I'm not a fan at all of the kind of gessoed canvas papers unless I put a lot of layers of gesso. And actually, gesso is one of my main villains of 2022. Gesso was eating my butt. I am not gessoing my canvases enough. I need to stop being stingy with products because it just creates more work for me and in the long run. So anyway, next, I spent 4 or 5 months creating this piece, and while I love it to death, it definitely traumatized me because it took so long. Let's show you the origins.
I started a new messy sketch.
The night where I randomly get an idea, and it's not fully fleshed out yet, but it's an idea, and it turns into a messy sketch, which turns into the basis of a painting. Like I said, TikTok was a very big push for me, so I spent a lot of time this year documenting the process of my paintings, which is just fun. I love the community there. If you're not following me, definitely go check me out there. But all of that led into finishing this piece right here. This is Forbidden Fruit. It is quite the scene of a lavish party where everyone is indulging into the things that they love. They're indulging in fruits. They're indulging in each other. They are looking at each other and, you know, kind of staring at art and playing and having a time. They're on the tabletops. They're feeling joy and lust and love, and it's just all happening in this fun room filled with little secret little moments. We have bananas here. We have little signatures and signs. We have pineapples over here. It's just a sea of little interwoven stories, and I built so many characters into this. The waiters serving, the dancers dancing, the couples staring at each other longingly. Like, I love this piece so much, but it took so long. So much so that I was going to give up on painting for the whole rest of the year, but I kept having more and more ideas. But this was the first 2 quarters of the year. This piece right here was so much work. Well worth it. But yeah, this was a lot. So that's number 2. Another piece that I worked on that took 4-ish months to finish was this piece right here. This piece was started again from TikTok. Let me go ahead and introduce it.
6 months later.
Well, that was lovely, and I'm inspired, and so I'm making a painting based off of you. I really loved your orchestra piece. I love the vibe. I love the music, and it made me want to paint something. So I promise it's not going to be like this. So this piece was a struggle, mostly because I could not get the figure right. It is a good reminder for me that I do need to invest in the skill sets of artists. Like, I need to practice figure drawing. I need to put the work in, because I painted this girl over multiple times over 4 months. Like, literally almost 30 times I repainted and repainted and repainted her because I just couldn't get the proportions right. And so I need to take that time to actually practice figure drawing so that I don't struggle with this. And this painting was taking so long that I actually stopped midway through to work on something different. This painting right here saved me because I was falling into such a big painting slump because I could not finish this other piece. So this one right here, I was like, you know what? I just want to paint the things that I actually like from the other piece. The only thing I liked were the chairs. That's it. And I'll link the painting videos where I went through and finalized this piece and worked on a few different things on screen. But this actually ended up being very fun because I took away all of the problems of the other piece and just did the fun parts. And it made me remember that I need to stop taking my paintings way too seriously and stop falling into these big, massive, like, woe is me problems when it comes to a painting, because it was fun until I stressed my own self out about that. And so this piece was fun. And I also learned with this piece that I really like matte medium. Usually I would use like a gloss or satin finish for all of my pieces regardless, but I really like the matteness of this. It makes you pay attention a lot more to the character. And it's still not varnished fully, but I really much like this little isolation layer of matte medium that I did on that. And so the last piece that I did is not actually here because it's the one piece that I gave away. It was a gift for my coworker who was getting married. I painted her engagement photo shoot and it looks like this. And I use that as a practice mostly because I don't often paint realistically for clients of any kind, and so I used it as like kind of a client test to see if I could get a reasonable likeness to my coworker and her fiance or husband. Now they are officially married, and also to see how long it would take me to produce something like that. So when I do start accepting, commissions, I've been asked a few times about it. I have like some kind of scope of how long it'll take, whether or not it's something I can reasonably do with my schedule and my time, and what the ending results could look like. And so I really like how this piece came out. It was really nice, and it was nice to do florals because I don't often paint those at all. I don't know why, I don't gravitate towards them. I love trees though. So but yes, that was the last piece that I did. So 5 pieces and only 3 canvas pieces that I'm actually keeping and that I have here to add to my big old wall. Now on the flip hand side, I started 5 other pieces, including this massive painting behind me, which I am currently in the process of. This one right here. This is a big canvas, which I am sketching out an exhibition day, kind of like a museum scene, and I intended to finish this in 2022, but I got sick at the end of the year, and so all of these projects got kind of held behind. We're gonna work on them this year, and it is what it is. It can't help being sick, but I did want to show off the pieces, kind of talk about what they were supposed to be. So we have this piece, and this is the first one I'm going to be working on because I really do want to finish it. I got a massive canvas, if you saw in my art haul, and I need to work on that as well. So we can't have 2 big paintings going on at once. That's just not good for me. So we're going to work on this first, and then we're going to get to that very big 48 by 48 canvas. I started this piece, but I no longer like the concept. It was with a character who was being pulled away by red birds, and they were trying to stop this boulder from the top of the hill from rolling down and squashing her. It was very much about overthinking and just not taking your own advice, but I started to really hate this piece. This is something I started in a sketchbook, and as a sketchbook page it looked so great and it was so fun. As soon as I started transferring the idea to canvas, I kind of hated it. So this is going in the archives. Maybe I'll come back to it in a few years, maybe not, but this is where it ended. We have this piece that is almost finished. It just has about an hour or two left of work. It is my royal little piece. I did this on TikTok, so here is a clip of me starting the piece.
Messy sketch
To
time.
be fair, when I do ever start a painting, it's always a little bit of a mess. But it's my mess, you know? So I'm going to be fixing this, obviously, but it always starts off looking very, very crazy. The whole process to get it from ugly over to like adorable and like precious and like makes sense. But like essentially we have a girl, she's laid out, gonna have her shoes showing, and this is gonna be a mirror with something shining through it. It's leaning against a cobblestone wall, and it doesn't make sense. No, it does not. But I think it'll look like something in the end. So let me finish sketching this out.
And overall, I really like it. I wish I would have had the time to devote to it and finish it up in December, but it's going to be finished soon. It's a quick, fun piece. It's very colorful, and I really particularly like the guy coming out of the mirror. I like the backstory that I have attached to it, which you can check out in this video right here if you want to learn more. Another piece that I started late night in November, even though I had so many other projects to finish. It's a pool scene, and I don't know if I'm going to actually end up finishing it because now it's been a couple of months and I'm so away from the idea. But it's nothing wrong with it. So this is going on the shelf until I have time to really think about whether or not I want to move it forward. And then finally, this colorful piece. I started even though I had 4 other pieces not finished. This is kind of what happens to me all of the time. I get an idea and I want to put it out on canvas. But this was a fun idea, and it also played off of the mirror. Only this time it was featuring a male character, and I don't often paint guys, so I figured this would be a nice complimentary piece. Again, this is the basic sketch. I didn't really get a chance to develop it at all, and so those last 3 pieces, I'm not sure when or if I'll finish them, but I do still like them, at least a little bit. And so that is everything that I painted and didn't finish in 2022. Definitely leave a comment below about your favorite piece or which of the unfinished paintings I should work on next. I'm leaning towards this one, but you know, I could be convinced for one of the other ones, especially if it's going to be something quick and easy and fun. And yeah, that is this video. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Marnice Nicole, and I'm out. Bye.